Hey guys, Phoenix Spring Tarot here. So, hang on, let me adjust this camera. Okay, great. All right. So, the Beckhams released a documentary on Netflix reflecting on their respective lives, being Victoria being a member of the biggest girl group in the world and David becoming one of the biggest football stars in the world. So, after it was released, um, I was chatting to a family member of mine who had watched it. I hadn't watched it. On Netflix, and this family member said to me, "Oh, what they put David Beckham through was so bad," in reference to her watching a Netflix documentary. And I asked, "What do you mean?" And then they said, "Oh, well, I'm talking about the affair and those allegations of the affair." And I was just like, "Allegations? What do you mean allegations? Were there new allegations that came out recently that I didn't know about?" And they said, "No, in the documentary regarding that Rebecca person." And I was just like, those were not allegations. They had actually happened. And then they said, "No, they were newspaper clippings and so on showing that it was an allegation." And I was just like, "No, that's like that Rebecca Loos affair did happen. It's not an allegation." And then later on, true to form, Rebecca Loos then came out and spoke to the press to clear her name. And I got a snippet of her interview and I would link it below. And trust me, Rebecca Loos came across very well and she came across very believable. And I even remember, I was in school at the time this had come out, and I even remember that in response to the allegations, it was reported that Victoria and David went away. I think they went away to I don't know, they were skiing, some ski villa, and they were holed up and holed away for make or break discussions about the state of their marriage. And I remember, and then they came out and they had a photo shoot. And I remember my mother was alive at the time and she was watching David and Victoria come out for this photo shoot. And my mother commented that Victoria was holding on to David's neck for dear life. And my mother said, of course he did it. And she knew he did it. And she would never leave David. Nor should she, because what my mother was saying is that as a woman, you wouldn't leave those situations for then someone else to sweep in and then have all the glory, the way my mother put it. Irrespective of whether my mother was right or wrong when it came to that approach, what I'm saying is that this was a thing. And apparently in the Netflix documentary, the Beckhams have been trying to make out as though it didn't really happen and it was all the press throwing allegations at them. And that's actually not true. And the thing is, for me, I would never forget what my mother said because I always looked at the Beckhams through that lens, always through the lens of, and I couldn't unshake it, just Victoria hanging in there. And the fact of what my mother said did actually come through, like they have a fantastic marriage now and blah, blah, blah. In fact, they've gone, because I think at that time, Victoria was still trying to do her singing thing and it wasn't taking off. But now, she's moved on to a high-end brand. High-end clothing brand. Sorry, she's moved into makeup. Simon Fuller's been there, Svengali, and they've made a lot of really good investments. And to be fair, they've played the press really well. Now, there's a point that people are missing from all of this, and this is the point of why we really should be concerned about this Beckham's Netflix documentary. The affair for me is really neither here nor there, especially looking at it retrospectively and how their relationship turned out. But what I think is really concerning for me is their Orwellian, I should say after George Orwell, and I hope I'm using the phrase Orwellian appropriately here, but it's their Orwellian approach to this documentary, where they completely cover up the past as if it didn't happen. They don't even give courtesy to other people or Rebecca Loos that they're throwing them under the bus. So they bring this out here, so they, cover up the allegations, putting the burden of proof on Rebecca Loos, who doesn't have the level of influence, she doesn't have the power, she doesn't have the resources that the Beckhams have to defend herself. And that's the thing. And she's been receiving death threats, damaging her reputation. She's completely moved out of the UK, been out in the limelight, living in, I believe she's living in Switzerland or Sweden or Greenland, but you know what I mean? You get the picture, as far away from the limelight as you can. She has her own family, she has her own children. So you're looking to damage her reputation all over again for the sake of your documentary. But not only that, there are people out there, such as my family member that I had the conversation with, who are not old enough to know better or remember better and believe that this woman, and believe the allegations they were making in the documentary, damaging this woman's reputation over again. And that is the bit that I find really concerning. There is such an opportunity for the Beckhams to have come out and said, And Rebecca Loos raised this point in a documentary, actually. She actually came out and said, look, they had a number of options here. Number one, they could have just not said anything at all. Number two, David could have just came out and said, you know, what I did, it was silly, I wasn't thinking. My apologies to my wife, Rebecca, for doing this. Fine. And that is what Rebecca Loos said. If you did that, it would have been fine. But what he went about doing was just denying that anything ever happened whatsoever. So therefore, Rebecca Loos had to come out and defend herself through that interview. So this is where we're going to pick up with this reading. So in this reading, we'll be looking at the following. First of all, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, as we step into this reading, please protect myself. Please protect those viewing this reading as well. May we only channel messages from the highest light frequency, and may these messages provide unique insight on the situation we're witnessing, so we can take these lessons and apply them for the betterment of our own lives. Okay, so far we have the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. We're just tuning into the general energies here. So what was the state of David and Victoria's relationship at the time? In fact, let's ask that question here. What's the state of David and Victoria's relationship at the time of the Rebecca Loos affair? Too many cards, guys. Too many cards. But these are the cards that turned up first of all. So this is what I was saying, that the allegations were true. Here we have the Lovers, we have the Queen of Wands reversed, we have the Nine of Swords, and we have, yep, anyway. Let's put this, right. Okay, right. So what was the state of David and Victoria's relationship at the time? What of the allegations of the affair with Rebecca Loos? Oh, mind you, all statements made in this reading are alleged until proven fact. Okay. So what was the state of the relationship between David and Victoria at the time? Seven of Pentacles. Look at the expression on that guy's face. Something is proving to be very, very hard work. You know what? When I look at this card, there is something, I'm stepping into David's energy, David Beckham's energy. There is something of a coldness with David's energy. And to me, this looks a lot like Victoria. This looks like a lot like Victoria here, trying to make something work. There is a coldness and there is a distance with David Beckham's energy. It's almost as if there's just a coldness with his energy, like something has shut down in him, where you almost don't view people as people. When I say people, as if you don't view them as having feelings, is what I'm picking up here with David's energy. Yeah. Okay, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, thank you for providing that vision. What else? Wow, look at that. This is, so we're talking about the state of David and Victoria's relationship at the time of this Rebecca Loos situation. We have, there's the thing, a family and marital home. Look at this very carefully. So you're giving everyone, you know, arms in the air, celebrating that everything is good. You're giving the impression everything is good. But we have the devil energy here. So this is talking about control, manipulation, being underhanded, being deceitful. Either both of them being like that to each other or one person being like that to each other. It's also people taking part in debauchery or things that undermine this Four of Wands, activities that undermine a stable home. Right? Again, I gave the introduction I gave, but you guys are seeing me shuffle on camera as well. All right, so. Okay, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, thank you for that. What else? Yep, Justice and King of Pentacles. So this is talking about karma, this Justice card here. This is really talking about karma. Another message, and notice this Justice card has also come up next to the Devil, right? So in this context, it's you getting on with everything that you're getting on with, and it's almost as if, I use this phrase lightly, but it's the phrase my guides are giving me. Like the hand of God has come in to sort of put you back in your place and to humble you. That's what I'm getting here. And notice we have a King of Pentacles here, and this is David's energy. And notice that we have the King of Pentacles and Victoria was the Seven of Pentacles here. They're bookending this reading. And notice that he is looking away from all these allegations. He's looking away from this karma situation that's come on him. That's what I'm saying. There is someone who is full of themselves. They know that they're very good. They know that they're in a position of power. But there is something of a control. I can't put my finger on it. With David's energy, it's interesting. There is something about... I would say control for now, but it's not quite control. It's not quite being conniving either. It's not quite greed, but it's like those words are the words that I'm seeing. But there is something unique about his energy. There is a confidence, there's a self-knowing, there is a feeling that I could do anything that I want to do and it doesn't matter. They're almost telling me in my ear it's like a Jay-Z energy, believe it or not, that I'm getting with this card. And the way Jay-Z moves and the way Jay-Z operates is the same way that David Beckham moves and operates. And this justice card was like karma coming down to sort of stop him in his tracks, because it's as if with this devil and the justice card, he started going down a road, David, that he wasn't meant to go down. Or if he went down that road, he would have self-combusted. And it was as if like the powers that be or on his path was saying you were destined for more and to be even better than you are currently right now. So we are going to send you this situation to put you back in your box and to realign you back on your path. Okay? So let's go on. Oh, notice bottom of the deck, infighting in their marriage. It's like he liked to cause confusion with people and play mental games with people as well, to have people fighting against each other or playing one person off against another at that time. Yeah, it's something about his energy. It's like a gaslighting even that's coming up with his energy here. And he knew that he had the power to play people off against each other. But that was him going into the negative polarity of his personality. And that's why this happened, to pull him back from that brink of being negative, gaslighting, a narcissist really. Yeah, narcissist I guess is the term. You know, so this happened to pull him back from that brink because he is better than that. Okay, is Rebecca Loos the only one at that time, or were there others in the marriage? So Rebecca Loos is attesting that there was someone else. So let's ask, were there other people in the marriage at that time? Wow. Oh, yeah. Yep. Four of Pentacles. Someone knows, or whether someone else knows, or he knows, or whether they know. Boom. That's why we don't know. These people have been paid off. They've been paid off. Yep, they've been paid off. They've been silenced. Notice this card wanted to come at the very beginning. Remember, it was this card, the Hermit, and then the Lover's card had also come up as well. Could you guys see everything, actually? Let me adjust this so you can see everything. Okay, great. Dare I say again as well, it's like with this moon card, having a moon card by a marriage, it's not good. This is talking about secrets in your marriage. All right. Now, what I would say is that Victoria as well, and it's interesting that Victoria is coming up as a Seven of Pentacles. This is also talking about someone who is quite insecure, right? But anyway, we'll come back to this. So this is Victoria, and with this moon energy is someone working really hard, someone like almost overcompensating all the time, but they don't quite know. They suspect something, but they don't quite know. And my thing is they suspect, they don't quite know, but with the Seven of Swords and the Devil, neither do they want to know. So notice with the Devil, we have two people here. Notice we have the Two of Swords. I'm blindfolded. I'm cutting my heart out. I'm shutting down. You know, notice we have a lot of shutting down energy here. I don't want to know. I don't want to see the truth. I'm just going to continue trying my best and doing what I can do, but I really don't want to know the ins and outs of this. And we have a similar energy here with the Four of Pentacles of someone shutting down as well. And I see that with David, because David is looking on here, of someone just completely shutting down. And then we have the six, we have two sixes here. It's as if it's growing out of this. Like there is, I think this situation with the Justice card and this coming to light meant that there was one child born at the time. I don't know whether that is Brooklyn. There was one child born at the time where they decided to move on, where he grew up and he realized, okay, I want to move on from this type of behavior, of the cheating around, of the messing around and messing with other people while I'm in this relationship. All messages are alleged until proven fact. But I'm being shown here that there was definitely more than Rebecca Loos. There's definitely more than that model he was in bed with. There are, all messages are alleged, until proof of fact, up to 6 people that he could have potentially been with. There are NDAs that have been signed. There is money that have been paid off to silence people. It's as if he learned from the Rebecca Loos situation. And that's why I think they felt so confident in being able to come out and give this, and put things forward like that, because they know that they've, with this scales, they know that they've signed NDAs. And also, to be fair on David, I would say here, when I say to be fair, italics, he had moved on from that sort of behavior or cut ties with that sort of behavior. It was something that was realized, like, it's not worth the risk. With this Justice card and the karma that came back on him from that Rebecca Loos situation, he realized it wasn't worth jeopardizing his career, jeopardizing his marriage. And with the Ace of Swords around that time, he did tie up loose ends with people, paying people off, and he did go, like, turn over a new leaf, so to speak. Okay. Now, I had another question of whether Victoria knew about it, and we answered that question. Is there anything else that we want to know about this? Anything else that we want to know? Why did they choose to put out a documentary in the first place? Why did they choose to put out this documentary? Why did they choose to put out this documentary in the first place? Oh, okay, typical. Typical. It's just all business and it's just all money. They're showing me in my mind's eye. I've seen news reports on this, but I have to be honest, I never really followed it. Did David Beckham either buy a football club or he invested in a football club in the States or something like that? It's part of, they're telling me, a business refresh or business relaunch that is going to be coming off the back of this with the Page of Pentacles. It's something that's been in the works for quite a while. It's a business refresh or business relaunch. It's as if with the Page of Pentacles and with the Six of Cups, it's like they want to refresh their brand and make it more current, make it more trendy. What do they think of the Rebecca Loos interview, actually? What do they think of the Rebecca Loos interview? What do they think about Rebecca Loos coming out and saying... What do they think of Rebecca Loos coming... Oh, goodness. Can I just ask this question, please? What do they think of Rebecca Loos coming out and giving her interview and throwing David under the bus? What do they think of Rebecca Loos coming out, giving her interview, and throwing David under the bus? You know what? They don't care. Son, they don't care. They do not care. And this is the thing. This is what I always say again and again and again and again when I do these celebrity readings. Like, we get so caught up and we get so hung up on celebrities, but celebrities are playing you guys many times. Because with this Sun energy, with the Sun next to the Ace of Swords, next to the Page of Pentacles, especially the Sun next to the Page of Pentacles, next to their Destiny card, this is just more power for the cause for them. It's just more light shine. All publicity is good publicity. It's just light shining on them. And in fact, they're looking to move things up. Any launches, any ventures, any business deals that are happening in the background, they are leveraging all of this, whether it's controversy, no controversy, whatever, they are leveraging it in order to support their businesses. So they don't mind. And in fact, when it comes to Rebecca Loos, this is how they view her. They view her as a Page of Swords. So you have a Sun, you have a Star, you have Major Arcana energy. They don't view her as anything. She's just power for the cause. Who cares? However, what I'm seeing with this Page of Swords and this Temperance is that what they'll be doing with the press is manipulating the press, and anything else that comes out, they'll just be manipulating the story, massaging the story to ensure that the press twists it in their favor as much as possible. Or when they need to bury the story, they can bury the story. That's what's coming through as well. Okay, final messages regarding this. Final messages, is there anything else that we haven't said that we ought to be aware of? Is there anything else that we haven't said that we ought to be aware of? Ooh. They were close. Goodness, I wish, guys, I still don't have time to be as part of popular culture as I once was, but this situation, it wasn't just one situation, but this Rebecca Loos situation, they came, number one, when the story broke, it really took them by surprise. It's as if David was, the word they're giving me is arrogant. Like, he was so arrogant, he thought that he could have done whatever he wanted to do and the story wouldn't have come out, but it did. When that story came out, it really hit him hard. It's like they're showing me a brick wall and someone driving into a brick wall. It really hit him, and both them and Victoria, really hard. Victoria was really betrayed by this with the Three of Swords. Really, really betrayed by this. Really hurt by this. To the point where with the Hierophant, they were really considering divorce here. They were really considering divorce. You know, as I say this, I'm getting another message of, with this Hierophant energy, of apparently going to the press. It's as if through this, David and Victoria Beckham made a relationship with the press, like they made a deal with the press. They learned out of this situation how to handle the press. It's as if, at the time, the way they chose to manage it, they were happy to prostrate themselves at the time with the understanding that later on down the line, they could play the press. It's really, really a weird message that I'm getting. And do you know what else has popped into my head as well? Meghan Markle and, oh God, what's his name? Prince Harry. It's as if the Beckhams even passed on how they handled the press to the both of them. Like, to Meghan Markle and Harry. That's even coming up about the importance of making a deal with the press if you want to survive. Yeah, oh my goodness, bottom of the deck, you can't make this up. If you want to survive, if you want to get what you want, it's like making a deal with the devil. It's something along those lines that they've done. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this here for now. I don't think I have anything else. No, I don't have anything else. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all in future readings. Bye for now.